In today's world, it has become very difficult to find true love. Nobody is ready to adjust to the other person and wishes that each demand of theirs gets fulfilled every time. This makes it tough for the relationship to go on for a long time. However, there are some examples to prove that true love still exists, and when love blossoms between two persons, everything else loses its importance. When two people are in love, they don't care about anything else. So here are top 10 most odd and unusual couple that prove love is blind vertical bar strangest relationships. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. Sun Mingming and Zhu Yan. Love, as they say, has no limits, nor does it have any height restrictions. The Guinness World Records Organization has just revealed the world's tallest couple, with a combined height of nearly 13 feet and 11 inches. Sun Mingming of China and his wife Zhu Yan have been certified as the world's tallest couple by the International Franchise for its 2016 edition book. At 7 feet, 9 inches tall, Sun easily towers over everyone else in the room. Zhu stands just shy of 6 feet 2 inches tall. And we know you're wondering about Yao Ming. For the record, the former NBA center for the Houston Rockets and China's most famous tall person is 7 feet 6 inches tall. Their advice for a successful marriage: no one is perfect, therefore you need to support one another on a daily basis. They are a happy couple and two lovebirds can be seen doting on each other and expressing mutual affection under the glare of cameras and curious crowds. Chris Bull and Phoebe Baker. A couple will take their love to new heights when they say their vows in England's first high-wire wedding. Chris Bull, 37-year-old, and Phoebe Baker, 25-year-old, will stand 80 feet above the heads of their guests at Wicky Hole Caves in Somerset. Their registrar, a ringmaster, will conduct the ceremony from the ground using a megaphone in front of 100 wedding guests. Mr. Bull and Miss Baker, from Hanham, Bristol, will even be able to exchange rings in the air thanks to a rope pulley. The couple have spent a year planning their wedding, which has involved collecting specialist equipment and setting up their 260 FT wide rig. They will legally marry in a small ceremony in the caves at Wicky Hole before taking to the high wire for the main event. Mr. Bull, who has 15 years of professional rope walking experience, began teaching his fiancée the skill only 4 years ago. The couple met at a circus show, in which Mr. Bull was a performer and Miss Baker a costume maker. The couple approached Wicky Hole Caves owners after reading the autobiography of Jerry Cottle, a circus owner. Clarity Barton and Sidon Infinitry. Clarity Barton and her partner Sidon Infinitry, from Toronto, describe themselves as a conscious couple who perform shamanic and tantric rituals to deepen their bond with each other and the environment. Tantra is a spiritual philosophy and a set of practices which date back to the 7th century. Through meditation, yoga and rituals, people who practice Tantra aim to experience heightened sexual energy and to reach a state of awakening. Clarity, a 30-year-old tantric teacher, is also an ecosexual, a term used to describe somebody who sees nature as sensual or erotic. Some of the more physical ways in which her and Sidon connect to nature is by caressing each other with flowers, swimming naked in cold water, and massaging each other with clay. The couple also take substances, such as a cannabis, which is legal in Toronto, in order to heighten their experiences. Although they have only been in a relationship for only a few months, they bonded over a number of tantric rituals together, some of which they do every day. These include worshipping their goddess Kali and honoring the element through a blessing. Paul Jones and Claire Beams. A selfless partner who saved the life of his bride-to-be by giving her half of his liver is looking forward to an extra special Valentine's Day with his fiancée following her miracle recovery. Paul Jones went under the knife in October last year after watching his partner of 7 years Claire Beams gradually deteriorate from biliary atresia, a rare life-threatening disease which causes severe inflammation of the bile ducts. She was born with the condition, and in her late teens she began throwing up constantly and experienced terrible pain on a daily basis. When a doctor told her last year that her liver would fail if she didn't get a healthy transplant, big-hearted Paul underwent a scan to see if he would be a suitable donor. It turned out he was a perfect match, and couple of years ago I stopped getting better from the infections. She said, "I'm really looking forward to tonight's show. It will be a really special occasion." And they spent a happy life with each other company. Laura and Nathan Phillips. Britain's smallest couple who were born with different forms of dwarfism are set to welcome their second child. 4'1" Laura 28-year-old and 3'11" Nathan Phillips 38-year-old of Sunderland, who married in a fairytale ceremony after meeting while performing in Snow White together, are expecting the birth of their new baby boy in 2018. Laura and Nathan were both born with a different form of dwarfism. Laura has achondroplasia and Nathan, pseudoachondroplasia. Their first child, Nathan Jr., was their miracle baby as he was born as a rare double dwarf as he has both of his parents' forms of dwarfism and was told he wouldn't survive birth. Whilst there were no conclusive results, both parents believe the scan showed strong signs of their son carrying a form of dwarfism and living their lives as normal as possible is something that has always been important to both Laura and Nathan, especially with the way their height is still treated by some members of society. Adriana Perel and Mukesh Kumar. An American woman is happier than ever after ditching her comfortable Californian life to become a traditional housewife in rural India. Mum of one, Adriana Perel, 41-year-old, fell in love over social networking with a man 16 years her junior. After a whirlwind romance, the former receptionist flew to the subcontinent to meet the man she'd fallen in love with. Within months the pair were married, and she assumed her new role sweeping, cooking, cleaning, and mucking in on 25-year-old husband Mukesh Kumar's farm in an impoverished rural community. It is a far cry from Sunkist, California, where Adriana enjoyed socializing with friends, hitting the gym, and spending time with her daughter Lucy. But despite the radical lifestyle change, Adriana insists she is happier than ever. This one is an example of true love, the epitome of how a person could change just to adapt with his or her loved ones. This heartwarming story just provides realizations that no matter what, no matter how, and no matter why, if you really love the person, then definitely you are willing to do anything just for him or her. Have you experienced a situation just like this? Laura Kreuzer and Casey Melman. A defiant couple with a 23-year age gap are determined to silence their critics despite being ostracized by their family and receiving contemptuous looks from strangers. Bus driver Casey Melman, 43-year-old from Selm, Germany, in 2019, first met Laura Kreuzer, 20-year-old, when she was a passenger on the bus he drove every day. After he caught Laura's eye, the teen tracked him down on social media and the pair soon met for a coffee and quickly fell in love, despite Laura's family refusing to accept their relationship and cutting her off for over a year. Laura insists the 23-year age gap didn't worry her at all, although Kay admits he was slightly apprehensive about what people would think of them. Laura's parents were shocked by the burgeoning romance and didn't speak to her for a year, still refusing to talk to Kay to this day. Laura and Kay admit they are forced to endure funny looks when they are out in public. She said, "Our message to the rest of the world, and to the people who criticize us, we have love to give each other and no one in the world is going to stop that." Ozma Jacob and Jingjin. A Pakistani woman tied the knot with her Chinese sweeter in what appears to be an endorsement of growing ties between the two countries on the social front. Pakistani bride Ozma Jacob, who is based in Sargodha in Punjab, in 2019, married a Chinese man named Jingjin on Sunday, for which the ceremony was performed at a local church. The ceremony, that took place in Chak number 97 near Sargodha, was attended by locals as well as the family members of the groom who had specially arrived in Pakistan for the function. After the ceremony, Ozma accompanied her groom to China and expressed delight at the transnational marriage. Melinda and Larry McClure. The love-struck pair get stares everywhere they go, from passers-by who think they are dad and daughter, or worse, a granddaughter and her grandpa. Now the couple are trying for a baby, but don't know if it will be possible due to Larry having a vasectomy 18 years ago. Larry, 57-year-old, was born the year the first men went into space in 1961, and is even older than the parents of his 27-year-old beautiful bride, Mindy, who was born when Madonna was topping the charts. The pair started flirting, and soon they were going on secret dates, trying their best to hide the relationship from their families and friends. They became more serious, going on dates to obscure locations where nobody they knew would see them. But it took a whole year of trysting before they started to tell the people in their lives about their true feelings for each other. Larry eventually won the whole family over, and the pair were married in September 2016 at the Ohio State Reformatory, where they had their most special first dates. Now happily married, and having relocated from Ohio to Florida to be closer to Minder's family, the pair want to start a family of their own. If you like my video, don't forget like and subscribe my channel. Let us comments below.